Welcome back to Contemporary Black Voices right here in San Antonio, Texas, at the studio of Black Video Network, producer Carl Booker. So we're going to wrap up now, and since we've kind of had a hodgepodge all over the place, why don't each of you take a couple minutes and wrap up? But whatever we're talking about ties into our theme, dealing with Black issues, and I think we've done that well today. But starting with you, Caleb, why don't you give us your final thoughts for today?
Okay. So I know we're supposed to be talking about mass shootings, and so I do want to make a couple of points about mass shooting, and so I know according to the FBI statistics, anything involving 2 or more, according to the FBI, is a mass shooting. I know some have classified it as 3 or more, and I know the media likes to consider it 4 or more. But according to FBI, anything with 2 or more is considered a mass shooting. So I do want to draw our attention to that, how many times we've had in our community where there have been multiple victims that have been shot. And those are mass shootings. And so every day in our community, we have basically mass shootings, mass shooting events. And so I do want to I want to bring that to our attention, but I also want to bring something to our attention that I found out. So when something, as far as the classification of what gets classified as a mass shooting, and so that's something that's important as well. When something is officially classified as a mass shooting, that opens up government resources. And so they're able to provide funeral costs, out of work expenses. They're able to provide victims of crime compensation. They're able to just basically provide daycare services, assistance with if there's a transportation for remains. So I mean, it opens up a plethora of assistance to those victims. And so I want us to make sure we understand what gets classified as a mass shooting, why it gets classified as a mass shooting, why it doesn't get classified as a mass shooting, and why a lot of our stuff is classified, instead of being classified as a mass shooting, it's classified as gang violence or drug related instead of a mass shooting. And again, it's money, it's monetary. And so we have to definitely be on guard about that. The other point I wanted to touch on is there are over 343 million guns in this country. There are 120 guns for every 100 people in this country. And it's a nation of guns. It's a nation of violence. We find these guns in our community. I won't touch on that right now because that's an entire subject on its own. If we want to go back to about the guns and how they got into our community along with the crack, and so that's a completely different. I won't go there. I won't touch on that right now because that's a show on its own. But we have to understand how these guns make their way into our community, how they're still making their way into our communities, and so that's something else we need to guard on. Other than that, those are the 2 things. Oh, and it's been delegated to me. The website is www.contemporaryblackvoices.com. So go there, like, subscribe. After each show, we are going to put up, we have a forum. And so after, we're going to post the topics into the forum. Please go there and give us your opinion of the show. Give us your thoughts on the topic that we discussed. We'll monitor the forum. We'll go in there. We'll comment. We're going to have our various blogs on the website, and so it's a very interactive website. It's going to grow. It's going to become more interactive. We want you to participate. We want to hear from you. It's our website. It's our voice, and so we definitely want you to participate and lend your voice to it. We definitely want to hear from you. So please go to the website, like, subscribe, and I think that's it for right now for me.
Okay, thank you. Sharon, you want to go?
Yeah, we've had a lot of bad events just since January the 1st. And the Hay Moon tragedy, it was a tragedy. Other shooting events have been tragic. we move forward to what happened to Tyree Nichols, who got attacked by police officers, although they were black, police officers. So my big question becomes now, we know that the Floyd George bill is still pending. When is the federal government going to push hard to release that bill to where we as a black community feel some sense of protection against actions, whether they be a mass shootings or attack on from police officers? You know, where is that hate crime bill that we've been asking for? The other communities, like the Asian community, within a year had a hate crime bill signed. So my question is, what is it going to take to either equalize the hate crime bills to be inclusive of all people, of all genders or whatever, or go ahead and really put a hate crime bill that protects our ability to just walk into a store without feeling that we're going to be encountering some degree of hate crime?
Okay, thank you. Chris?
Well, first, let me address Sharon. It's never going to happen.
Well, I had put it out there.
It's never going to happen. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about is we talked about, Fred, you talked about whether or not the black men have failed our race. And you've left this segment allowing me to say what I want to say.
Okay.
So I want to read to you something that I've put together, which I call the Black Commandments.
I'm glad
And the first
I'm glad
commandment
you're going to be
is-
talking about those.
Yeah, and the Black Commandment is, the first one is be black first. And the second one is be spiritual over religious. Know thyself first and educate. Respect, cherish, and protect. What this means is black men are to be respected, black women are to be cherished, and black children are to be protected. Understand and respect the earth, soil, and all life. Support black. Love, live, and respect one another. Do no harm. Never allow a black community to be controlled by outsiders. Lead, follow, and unite. And those are the 10 Black Commandments.
That's fantastic. I think that's kind of a good way to end our show today. So we've been all over the place, but one thing we have done is we've talked about issues that are important to our community. And we will continue to do that every week as these issues come up. And we do invite you to go to the website. If there's one subject you think that we should be covered, please put it in there and we'll definitely give it consideration. So this is the writer Fred with his team saying thank you for viewing this show, and we'll see you next week, and we'll be about telling our story our way.